No, thank you. Now it is my privilege to introduce our industry partners who smoothen our journey by giving their support in terms of sponsorship. And they are Vallabh Milk Products Private Limited, Jivika Pharma, Phoenix Overseas Education, and Royal Wood Furniture.
స్వచ్ఛ కోరుకునే వారి ఎంపిక ఇప్పుడు ఎప్పుడు వల్లభ మిల్క్ సంపూర్ణ ఆరోగ్యానికి స్వచ్ఛమైన పాలు ప్రవేశపెడుతున్నాం వల్లభ మిల్క్.
రాయల్ వుడ్ ఫర్నిచర్ కి రావాల్సిందే. హై అండ్ రాయల్ లుక్ కలిగిన ఫర్నిచర్ కావాలా? అయితే రాయల్ వుడ్ ఫర్నిచర్ ని విజిట్ చేయాల్సిందే. ఇవే కాక మీ ఇంటిని అత్యద్భుతంగా తీర్చిదిద్దే హౌస్ వాల్ డెకోర్స్, పార్టీషన్స్, ఆఫీస్ పార్టీషన్స్, టీవీ కౌంటర్, కబోర్డ్స్, సీలింగ్, మాడ్యులర్ కిచెన్ వంటి ఇంటీరియర్ డిజైనింగ్ సేవలను కూడా మేము అందిస్తున్నాము. సంప్రదించండి రాయల్ వుడ్ ఫర్నిచర్స్, ఆపోజిట్ కెనరా బ్యాంక్, 9/2 Arindalpeta, Guntur.
Thank you all the sponsors. Now I would request our program coordinator, Dr. Bandaru Srinivas Rao sir, to brief us about the program.
Esteemed resource persons, respected faculty members, industry experts, scholars, beloved students, very good evening to all. As the FDP coordinator, I am honored to welcome you to aid the National Online Faculty Development Program on case-based learning, teaching, writing, and publication. I would like to start by expressing our heartfelt gratitude to the Department of Management Studies at Vignan Foundation for Science, Technology and Research, VFSTR, deemed to be university, for their unwavering commitment to knowledge and education. Today, we gather here not only as educators, but as a diverse community of learners. Our registrations for this FDP have been overwhelming. We have 300 faculty members across Bharat, including professors, associate professors, assistant professors, deans, principals, teaching and research assistants, along with dedicated scholars. We are also privileged to have 100 eminent practitioners from various industries. Adding to this, we have 150 enthusiastic management students and a distinguished scientist from Indian Council for Agriculture Research. This diversity reflects the program's broad appeal and the shared passion for enhancing our teaching and research skills. As educators, our responsibility is profound. Over the next 8 days, we have a unique opportunity to enhance our skills and knowledge in vital areas such as case-based learning, teaching, writing, and the intricacies of academic publication. These are the foundations of our profession, and this program empowers us with the tools we need to access. I urge all of you to actively engage in the sessions, share your experiences, and participate in meaningful discussions. Our distinguished resource persons from Indian Institute of Management, IIMs, Indian Institute of Technology, IITs, and leading business schools have graciously agreed to share their wisdom and expertise with us, and we are immensely grateful for their contributions. I am very much excited to embark on this journey with you all. Let us use this opportunity to learn and grow as better educators and individuals with renewed purpose in education. Thank you for joining us, and I wish you all productive experience during this faculty development program. I also humbly request all the participants to raise your concerns and doubts in the question and answer sessions as kept at the end of the sessions of each resource person. Thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you. Now, I humbly request our Dean Vijay Krishna sir to address the inaugural session. Thank you. Over to Vijay Krishna sir. Vijay Krishna sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the resource person, Dr. Victor Anand Kumar Garu from Pondicherry University, the program coordinator, Dr. B. Srinivas Rao Garu, for taking so much effort and bringing all these things together and bringing this to the benefit of all the students, the researchers, and also the academia. So at the same time, I would like to thank the management of Vignan University for allowing us to conduct such type of events, which will be useful not only to the students, but also to the faculty. Coming to this particular case, learning, teaching, writing, and we all know that our elders, whenever they teach something, whenever they tell something, definitely they will be quoting something from the real world, quoting something from the Puranas or Vedas, and they will be giving a particular situation which has happened earlier. So which will not only make the other party understand it correctly and also make them know the situations which were prevailing there. And these case studies are effective ways to get the students to practically apply their skills and also understand the facts of the real world situation. And at the same time, sometimes the imaginary situations. Definitely, I think this is going to help the different parties who has enrolled to this particular national level FDP. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I hope that this particular program will be helpful throughout with the inputs of different people, different eminent people from IITs, IIMs, and the central universities. Thank you, sir, Srinivas Rao Garu, for giving me this opportunity. I wish you all the best and wish all the participants all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Your thought-provoking address has set up perfect platform for our today's program. Now I request Dr. B.S. Rao sir to introduce our today's esteemed resource person, Dr. Victor Anand Kumar sir, to the participants.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Anand Kumar sir, very good evening. Dr. Victor Anand Kumar sir has completed his PhD from Cochin University of Science and Technology and MBA from Pondicherry University. He has a 26 years of hands-on experience in teaching, supervising, doctoral research, planning, and facilitating management training programs, executive training programs, and also consulting for corporates. He has vast experience not only in general marketing management, contemporary digital marketing, strategic management, digital enterprise, business models, disruptive innovation, selling and negotiation skills, executive communication skills, etc. Sir has received various international, national, regional awards as Best Teacher Award, Best Research Paper Award. He also has huge administrative experience as Dean of the School of Law and Management, Pondicherry University, Coordinator, MOU with Chongbuk National University, South Korea, University of East Paris, France, and some other universities in Germany. Dr. Victor Anand Kumar published number of books, a few titled E-Tourism, Retail Information Systems. Sir also has published number of research papers in national and international journal, peer-reviewed journals, and he conducted number of conferences and published papers in number of conference proceedings. He is highly accomplished professional with a strong background in academia, management, and research. Now, I humbly request Dr. Victor Anand Kumar sir to initiate his session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Srinivas Rao. Good evening, everybody. And thank you, Professor Vijay Krishna, for your warm welcome. It's an honor to be part of this FDP. This topic is close to my heart. I just completed 26 years of teaching, so I've been using case studies for 26 years. And I'm sure there is something useful that all of us can learn. Before I proceed, my humble request is to keep your audio muted, please, so that all of us can have a good learning experience, can have a good online ambience as we proceed with this session. Well, it's 4:20 and I have time till 6 o'clock with you. So somewhere halfway through, we are going to actually do a case study. All right, I think I got muted by the host. All right, okay. There is a one-page case study. I'm confident that Professor Srinivas Rao would have shared it with all the registered participants. In case you did not have access to it, I have shared it in the chat. It's just one page, and I would really appreciate, in the second half, all of us could take a couple of minutes to read through, and then let me take you through the process of case analysis. The whole thing is about the experience of doing a case analysis and the process that we follow, and how does it benefit a learner. It can be a teacher like me going through a case so that I can discuss with my students. I understand that there are many students in this online meeting. So when a teacher gives you a case study, you will know exactly how to proceed with that. So on that note, let's go ahead. I will be sharing my screen. There are a couple of videos that I wanted to play a short while from now. If it doesn't play from within my PowerPoint, I'll just exit that and play straight from the folder. Yeah, I hope you are with me. If during the interactions, if you would like to keep your video on, wow, that'll be nice. I will know that, wow, there is another person here, because I'll be able to see you. So please feel free to do that. Let's proceed. I will be using an online audience engagement tool by name Slido. So somewhere you will have to open a browser window to scan a QR code, or you can also log in. I'll share the details with you. So if you are on a system, maybe with a second device, you can access it, or even within the same system or the phone, you should be able to access Slido. I will give you the instructions on how to proceed on to that. Well, here we are, student engagement and impactful learning through case studies. Just keeping the tile of participants open in a corner so that, yeah, all right, we are good to go. Now, for me, it was very interesting when Professor Srinivas Rao said this will be an online FDP. Well, we have been doing online classes for a while, all through the lockdown. I'm sure we had very different experiences. Sometimes it was smooth, sometimes it was so hard. Sometimes you wonder if you are the only person on the planet in that online classroom. Okay, so now it's kind of back to online learning. And let me play a video. This is funny, humorous video about online classes. And I think it's okay to have a good laugh at our own experience of having gone through the online classes. All right, let me just share it now. This is a video, funny video. I think we can watch it and have a good laugh at it as well. Okay, here we go.
Hi, Tom. I know it's your first day, but we could really use your help.
You got it.
Oops, this video comes a little later. Pardon me. Okay, here we go. This is the one.
And in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, what this organization really needs is a one-on-one approach. What this organization really needs is repositioning.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
That
We cannot
means
see the
that
videos.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Sir, video is not visible, sir.
Yes.
you are not able to
It
see
is
the
audible,
video?
but it is not visible, sir.
Okay, just give me a moment. Yeah. Well, earlier when we checked, it was okay. All right, let's see. All right, this is the folder that I'm sharing. Okay, and then within the folder, are you able to see the video?
No, sir.
I see. Is it this case with everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Previously also the same issue, sir. Someone confirmed that it is visible.
Yes,
During the testing time also, it was the same issue.
okay, all right. Well, that's no big deal. I think we can move on. Well, this is just a funny video wherein, okay, let me stop sharing here. Well, a funny video wherein, having learned in online classes, I'm sure there was a lot of humor about how engineering students learned it, how MBAs learned it. I was just reminded of one particular advertisement by FedEx. Okay, is Dr. Himani giving me an idea rather than presenting the screen? Okay, well, I'll wait for the complete. Okay. Okay, that's worth trying, isn't it? Share the whole screen. Okay. Whole screen. Right. And then I take you to my folder.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I have some very smart people in the audience. Let me play this.
And in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, what this organization really needs is a one-on-one approach. Actually, what this organization really needs is repositioning. That means that What this organization desperately needs is change.
Easily erasable. Camlin whiteboard markers.
Well, I hope you found it funny, but I'm glad we have moved to in-person classes. And once in a while online, yes, it is good, brings back memories. And at the same time, internet makes geography history. Geography no longer serves as a barrier. So, well, on that note, we will proceed. I hope you were able to watch it. There is another one coming up about MBA students. I hope there are some management students in the meeting out of the 144 present here. Let's get going. And I'm sharing. Okay, I just wanted to know who are in the meeting. All right, so right now you may have to scan this QR code. Or scan this QR code. You should be able to get into this slido.com. If you're not comfortable scanning it, you can just open a browser window, type slido.com, and it'll ask for a code. Just give Vignan your university's name, and then we should be through. So you can join either by scanning the QR code or go to slido.com on a browser window. The URL is slido.com, and then access code is Vignan. Let's go. Okay, whom do we have here? I just wanted to know the audience that we have. Students or PhD students, faculty members, executives from the industry, practitioners, plus others, which could include administrators and people who play other roles. Wow. Hey, where are the students? Only 6%. Okay, so we have a lot of faculty members. Oops, we are 144, but looks like only 20 people have joined our Slido room. Well, if you haven't done it earlier, please give a try. I'm sure you would enjoy. And for my colleagues from teaching, we could try things like this even in our regular classroom. So if you're just wondering what to do, scan this QR code on your phone. It should take you to this small activity that we are doing, or slido.com and Vignan. So we have a lot of faculty members. Wow, interesting. Out of 32, more than 50% are actually faculty members. I would love to wait till we touch 50. That'll be nice. At least 1/3 of the participants or game for trying an online engagement tool like Slido. Okay, so still dominated by faculty members. We have got 39, 40. Oh, give me 10 more. That'll be nice to have 10 more people. Well, again, I would appreciate if you keep your audio muted. Thank you. So 42. Students are only 7. Oops, we missed them, don't we? All right. 43. Oh, I on the top right corner, you see the number of people who have joined this online engagement tool, Slido. Maybe you're familiar with Menti. I'm comfortable with Slido. Okay, 46. Can we have 50? Is that too much to ask from the FDP participants on day 1? 47. Okay, so research scholars are also in large numbers. Okay, 48. Oh, give me 2 more. I'm waiting. Anybody logging into Slido? Just got to scan the QR code or on a browser window. open slido.com and enter the code. Vignan, you should be there. Okay, 49. That's interesting. Half century, shall we? Oh, yeah, there we go. Well, I get an idea of who is in the meeting. Thank you. And others, please keep joining. We have more interactions coming up, a quiz coming up. At the end of it, we will have a winner on the leaderboard. If Professor Srinivas Rao doesn't give a gift to the winner, I will send one from Pondicherry. So I encourage you to be part of Slido. Just keep that browser window open even as we go back to our PowerPoint once we are done with this, because we'll keep coming back to this. So I request you to keep your Slido window open. Right. Thank you. Now, moving further, what is the biggest complaint against MBAs? Maybe many are jealous. These guys make a lot of money. They get fancy designations. Probably their career growth is faster. A technocrat may take a long time to enter into the C-suite, but an MBA might find the path a little smoother to enter into the C-suite. What is the industry's biggest criticism or the biggest complaint against MBAs? One person has spoken. Thank you very much. I like your response. Practical approach. They don't know what it is and they ask for a lot of money. Again, the word practice comes back. They don't know to articulate. Placements are an issue. Wow, they don't have any domain knowledge. Oh, Mahesh, please don't draw on the screen, Mahesh. You just have to click the options. Oops. I hope Mahesh will be able to erase this 2 lines that he has drawn. Wow, he is leaving his mark. Critical analysis. Okay, high expectations. Not practice oriented. Does Mahesh love drawing? I don't know. Okay. All right, quite a few responses. They are not industry ready. They're not very tech ready. They are not contemporary, not matching with the current need, narrow focus, not capable. Well, I think you are hitting the bullseye. Lack of critical thinking. All these are the industry's biggest criticism or complaint against MBAs. Oh, that's nice. Great. Too bookish. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, but I'm not sure if MBAs read books any longer. I thought they just listen to the lectures, access a few slides, watch a few videos, and then go for the exam. Very theoretical. Yes, I understand that. Not open to all. Thank you very much. I think we will move on. In the meantime, Dr. Srinivas Rao, I have a request. You may please ask the host to mute those from whose logins we have background noise coming. That will be helpful.
Yes, sir, we are doing.
Yeah, thank you very much. It'll definitely help us to have a better experience in the online session. Thank you. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a video. Let me play it just as I did earlier. This is a very funny video. It makes fun of MBAs, and I think it's okay to laugh at ourselves. The problem is only when we laugh at others. So let's watch this ad by FedEx, and I hope you will find it funny just as I found it funny, but there is a deep meaning about, oh my goodness, when MBAs are thrown on a job, how inadequate they are to perform the job assigned to them. Let's watch this. Oops. I think this is the one I wanted to share. Okay, and close this. Right. We go to, yeah, this should work. screen. I'm going to the folder. Okay, here is the ad which makes.
Hi, Tom. I know it's your first day, but we could really use your help.
Can one of you confirm if it was playing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for confirming. Yeah.
Hi, Tom. I know it's your first day, but we could really use your help.
You got it.
Thanks. We're just in a bit of a jam. All this has to get out today.
Yeah, I don't do shipping.
Oh, no. It's very easy. We use FedEx.com. Anybody can do it.
You don't understand. I have an MBA.
Oh, you have an MBA. In that case, I'll have to show you how to do it.
FedEx.com makes shipping so fast and easy, even an MBA can do it. Relax, it's FedEx.
Well, I hope you've found out what, FedEx, it's so easy, even an MBA can do it. That's how the ad went on. In fact, the lady's asking, hey, Tom. Then he says, you know what? I have an MBA. Oh, you're an MBA. Then let me show you how to do it. Okay. Well, that's what the world thinks about MBAs. And trust me, it's not great. For the money that businesses pay, they think they must get more out of MBAs. Okay, now here is the next question. I hope your Slido window is still on. Just yeah, something is coming up on your Slido. Would you please do this? Yeah. What's the number one job of an MBA? Make sure that business makes money, profits. The job of an MBA is to do analysis, business analyst. The job of an MBA is to communicate, is it? No, he's got to be really good in planning. No, he's got to be taking decisions. Wow, we have responses scattered across all the 5, so that's good. 37 people. Oh, did some of them leave? It'd be nice. We have 153 in the meeting, and I think it's unfair if we don't have even 50 people participating in this Slido. Now, this number actually shows how many audience are active in the meeting, isn't it? Yeah. So looks like most believe decision making is the number one job of an MBA. You know what? I also think so. Decision making. Others can do other things, but it requires an MBA to take decisions and communicate them, and later on do the planning to execute those decisions. But then if MBAs don't take decisions, nobody else will. You will have people to do other things, but then to take a decision. So in an MBA program, it's very important to develop the skill of decision making. And case studies are fantastic tools to work on our decision-making skills, to constantly improve our ability to take well-informed, solid decisions backed with logic. So decision-making, good. Well, moving further, what do you need in order to take decisions? Experience, is it? Information based on data, wisdom, intelligence, common sense. Somebody's very street smart, common sense. Or no, you need a hunch, that gut feeling. Even against all odds, you would say, I have a feeling that This is what we got to do. Can you explain that? No, but I strongly feel, that's the gut feeling. What do you need in order to take decisions? Well, right now it looks an overwhelming choice of information. Some of you feel experience. Some of you feel, no, common sense, which is so uncommon. You need common sense to take decisions. We have 38 people doing this. Well, please don't do this on the chat. I won't be able to see. Some of you are posting on the chat. I'm sorry, you got to do this on Slido. Maybe you joined late. In that case, please scan the QR code. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm repeating this for the nth time. Others, please bear with me. Some of them are still posting on chat, and we will not be able to access. So please scan the QR code. It should take you right into this engagement tool called Slido. If you're not comfortable scanning, just open a browser window, slido.com. As the web page opens, it'll ask you for an access passcode or something. Just type Vignan, and then you are into this survey or an audience engagement that we are doing at the moment. So what do you need in order to take decisions? 65% are saying you need information, data. Of course, you build intelligence from the data, right? Yeah, that's right. Of course, other things are helpful. But if you don't have information, that's why surviving in a VUCA environment, VUCA, V for volatile, C for complex. No, U for uncertain, C for complex, and A for ambiguous. Now, in those scenarios, it's very difficult to take decisions because no information, no data. You're right. So we need information. Now, what does a case study provide? Plenty of information. Sometimes data tables, sometimes a balance sheet, sometimes a market share pie chart, sometimes say a campaign performance data. Now, when you have so much of information, both qualitative, descriptive, plus very objective, quantitative, we should be able to work on them to take decisions. Case studies are very rich in information. For today's illustration, I've given you just one page, but trust me, this one page has a lot for us to discuss and then take decisions, as well. So case studies, the good thing with case studies is they are so rich in information, and many of them backed with data as well. And therefore, case analysis is a great way to improve your decision-making skill. I hope you see the connect between what we are doing and where we are getting into. All right. A very quick question. Sorry to ask you, but I don't want to assume anything. Have you done a case analysis before? Yes, no, I don't remember. Maybe there's a first-year student who's asking, what is a case analysis? It's okay. It's okay. Today you will find out. I hope nobody is responding on the chat now and everybody is on Slido. Have you done a case analysis before? Okay, some of us have not. It's okay. Yeah, today is our big day to do a case analysis. Okay. Somebody said no on the chat. I'm sorry, I don't see your name, but will you please scan this QR code? I don't think it's too much to do. Just scan this QR code, and then you're into this audience polling that we are doing. Okay, so many of us have done a case analysis before. Well, That is good, but that's also bad. Good is you already have an experience. Bad is, wow, whether I'm going to tell you is going to be useful to you or not, because so many of you have already done the done case analysis. Okay. Oops. Well, Dr. Ritu, Dr. Atul, you're responding on the chat. I appreciate your responses, but I'll be delighted if you could actually join Slido, because a little while from now, we are actually running through an interactive case analysis. We'll be doing an interactive case analysis, wherein Slido is the only place where we'll be accessing. And of course, Dr. Dhananjay has said even MBAs can scan a QR. Absolutely, please. I don't think anything should stop you from, you would love it. I promise you that. So if you haven't joined Slido, right now we have only 51, whereas there are 163 people who have logged into the Zoom meeting. So others, for the last time, let me repeat, scan this QR code, and then you will join Slido, the current online interaction that we are doing. Okay, great. Let's move on. Okay, Dr. Ritu is trying to join Slido. Thanks, Dr. Ritu, for letting me know. You could do it even on the browser. Just type slido.com and then use this code. That should probably, you may find it easier if you're on a laptop or a PC. Now, moving further, what are we going to do? What is a case? What is a case? Well, I'm sure I have a lot of colleagues from academia. Would any of you, your own definition, if a student asks you, sir, ma'am, what is a case? Maybe till now, the word case probably had different connotations, a police case, or in a hospital, a case. But then in a business school, when you and I say, we are going to do a case analysis, I'll send you the case. Well, how are we going to tell them? What is a case? Anybody, would you like to respond? Let me stop and then probably look at you or listen to you. Go ahead, please. Okay, Dr. Sunil says a real-time scenario. Dheeraj says situation. Yeah, that's right, Dheeraj. You know, we say in this case, in that case. Yeah, we're actually referring to a situation. But any B school teacher, professor, what is a case according to you? A report of Dr. Himani Rabal, report of an incident recorded in the form of an essay, real-time problem, Dr. Santosh. All right, thank you. I think you find responding on the chat a lot more convenient. I'm glad I stopped sharing so that I can look at the chat. Thank you. Bindu says a real problem and a solution. Well, Nagamani has an interesting response. Everything will be a case according to situation. All right, now let me take you back to, thank you for responding. We may stop there. Okay, now what is a case? Well, a case is a story about a business, about a manager, about a particular event, about a particular dilemma that a business is facing, or it could also be a story that could recount, say, some theory that we have learned, some concept that we have learned. Maybe you learned that industry analysis is important for an MBA. An MBA should know how to analyze an industry. Wow, telecom industry, how do you analyze? Or maybe it's a case study about aviation industry, a new airline in India. How do you analyze the aviation industry so that you can make helpful recommendations for an airline, which is a newbie, a new entrant into this industry? So cases are stories that recount an event, problems, dilemmas, this or that. Oh, I have 5 options before me. Which one do I decide? A case study could actually present that scenario. Or a conceptual issue. Maybe employees are quitting and leaving. The turnover is pretty high, attrition rate. Now, how do you address that? This is what a case study would probably describe to us. Well, I want to give you 4 or 5 very brief descriptions. There was a case study about Barbie, not the movie Barbie. Okay, this was probably 6-7 years ago. Barbie was getting a lot of negative publicity to such an extent. Somebody was asking, is Barbie doll good for the society? Because people said, well, it creates unrealistic expectation of beauty. It stereotypes girls, and it is not a good role model for children. So is Barbie actually good for the society? Is there anything good at all from brand Barbie, from Mattel Toys? Well, it's a case study which includes a lot of press reports about Barbie, some of the blunders they did, and a new campaign that they are coming up. In fact, that campaign was called You Can Be Anything, a global Barbie campaign. Will it help? Does it address the criticism? Does it really change the way the society is perceiving Barbie? Yeah, by itself. Let me give you another example. Now, here is a case study about Indian Oil, one of the Fortune 500 companies from India. Indian Oil, essentially in a refinery business, oil refinery. In fact, this picture is one of their largest refineries in the country. But their refineries, their efficiency is really bad. Productivity is suffering, and Indian Oil is in a dilemma whether they should focus more on oil exploration and mining rather than just on refinery. Somebody gives another idea. No, we should actually move further down the value chain or further up the value chain and then focus on retail, focus on value-added products, not just refined crude oil. Wow. What is the concept that we are looking at this in this case study? Integration, forward integration or backward integration. What should Indian Oil do? Or should they continue with what they are doing? Their core competence, all their resources are related to refinery. Should they focus on that? I'm just giving you an idea of how a case study can look like, what it can talk about. First, we spoke about Barbie. Maybe it's more of a marketing case study. I teach marketing, so that's close to me. Now, this one is about strategy. If you're studying strategic management, and if you want to learn the concept of integration as a strategy, integrative growth as a strategy, wow, this could be a fantastic real-life case study about what are the challenges with forward integration or backward integration, and under what conditions should a business contemplate them. Let me give you one more example. Tata Nano. Oh, sadly, they no longer make nanos. Maybe it's only in the museum. Okay. Now, why did Tata Nano fail? A case study, maybe 5-6 pages of information introducing why Tata wanted to introduce nano, what were the prevailing market conditions when they came up with a plan, what were the customer aspirations during that time, and by the time nano was in the manufacturing and when the factory was being set up, wow, a political risk happened. They had to relocate from one state to another state. Okay, but how did it hurt Nano? And did they get the costing wrong? Did it escalate the costs? And finally, when Nano was launched with great, I wouldn't say hype, because Tata doesn't usually hype up things, but with a lot of excitement when Tata was launched, has the customer moved away? Did the customer aspiration change in the meantime? Why did Tata Nano fail? A case study could help us to dig into, analyze what went wrong, and then even think about what Tata Motors could have done differently in order to avoid a failure for Tata Nano. Now, one more, Flipkart. Okay, I'm sure all of us enjoy, well, let me stop sharing and then look at you and talk to you. All of us enjoy product returns, right? Well, right now, how many days afterwards I can return my shoes if I buy on Flipkart? How many days do I have? Just want to know who is a big time online shopper in this crowd.
1 month.
1 month. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Neetu. Are you sure, or is it 10 days? I thought they have
7 days.
7
days.
So it differs for some products.
Okay. Apparel, fashion, accessories. For some of them, they have cut it down from 30 days to 10 days. Well, what is this case study about? Product returns are shooting high. What should Flipkart do in order to reduce product returns? And of course, they need to know the reasons behind. Is it because the sellers are messing up? Or is it because the buyers are fooling around? What exactly? How can they? Because with every product return, there is a reverse logistics and there is a cost incurred for which the customer does not pay. So it hurts Flipkart. It hurts every seller on Flipkart. So Flipkart is grappling with the issue of increasing product returns. Now, that's the crux of the case study. How do we look at that? Now, each one of them, be it Barbie, be it Indian Oil, or be it Tata Nano, or be it Flipkart, all these case studies, real life stories about a situation, about a problem, about a dilemma in which we can apply our analytical mind and then try to resolve the issue, try to address the dilemma, whether you go for option A or B or C. Now that's the beauty of case studies. Now let me take you further. Wow, we have more and more people joining. Okay, 174 people in the meeting. That's fantastic. Let's keep going. Now, what is case teaching? Wow, case teaching is one of the most active forms of instruction that you can come across. Yes, we lecture with a lot of passion, with a lot of heart and soul into it, true. But then case method teaching is because you are painting a picture in the mind. Now, even as I was describing Flipkart, I hope you were able to visualize. Even as I was describing Tata Nano, we may not see them on the roads any longer, but then in your mind, you recall Tata Nano. So case method teaching, case method learning is a very active form of instruction or learning. So there is plenty of interaction happening. And all this is learning by putting ourselves in the shoes of the protagonist in the case, the shoes of maybe the hero in the case. It could be an organization, it could be a manager, it could be a group of stakeholders, but we actually put ourselves into their shoes and then try to see the world, apply what we have learned, and see if there can be light at the end of the tunnel. All right, so how do you learn swimming? I know it's a funny question, but let me listen to responses. How do you learn swimming? By swimming. How do you learn swimming? We learn swimming by swimming. Anybody who learned swimming by not swimming, maybe YouTube videos, swimming 101 manual? No, right? You learn swimming by swimming. We will learn case studies by doing a case study. I hope you're game for it, right? Now, I hope you see the reaction button at the bottom. Sorry to ask you this. Don't worry, Dr. Srinivasa Rao is not going to penalize you. If you have already read through that one page, just one page case study, maybe you could just press on reactions, you could find a thumbs up. Would you do that? I just want to see how many of you were, how many of us were able to. Okay, thank you, Dr. Neetu. I see your thumbs up. Okay, Sheikh Mohammed, great. Anybody, if you have read that one page, you just give me a reaction. Oops, looks like many of us have not. Okay, all right, don't worry, a teacher never gives up, so we don't give up. I have shared that one page PDF again on the, well, I shared it earlier in the chat. Maybe if you think it's very deep in the chat, let me try to do it very quickly for you again so that you have access to it. All right, I'm sharing it. It's a one-page PDF, just one page. Yeah, okay. It's there on the chat again. Okay, just one page. Maybe we can take 3-4 minutes to read it. Shall we do it? Because if we don't read it, I'm sorry, the next 1 hour is not going to be useful to you at all. You'll be wasting your time. So I request and I insist that we read this one-page case study. Just one page. It's about a family business, a restaurant, father, mother, and 3 daughters. They're running a restaurant. Looks like everything is doing well, going well. But the daughters have different ideas. And then we will look into what exactly are they contemplating, and then how do we analyze a case? What is the process of case analysis? I want to take you through the process, the steps of case analysis, but we will keep this as our illustration. Everything we do, we will base it on this case study so that on one hand, you learn something and you also know how it works in a particular case study. Is that okay? 2-3 minutes. I'm going to be silent. Maybe I'll have a sip of water. And then in 3 minutes, I think we can start. I hope Professor Srinivas doesn't mind this.
Sir, please.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, please.
All right. So please, this is our time to read that one page, just one page case study. Yeah,
Yes,
please.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
But if it would be any easier for you, I can even screen share the PDF so that on the screen you can read it. I think that's better, isn't it? Let me do that. Just a minute. I'll share the PDF here so that we can read it from here. All right, here we go. Here is the case study. Yeah. Let me zoom it. Oh, trust me, it's worth. So I request for your cooperation. Let's do it so that we can have a better learning experience.
Sir, the
Yes.
screen is not, the PDF is not visible, sir. You have to open it.
Oops, I'm actually sharing the PDF now. Okay, let me do it. Is it seen now?
Yes, sir. It is okay now.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for the alert. Let me scroll down a paragraph. I'm just highlighting a few things in case if that would be helpful for you. Let me scroll down further. Okay. Wow, today you don't escape the word reposition. It showed up in the first funny video. So these are the competitors. I hope it's okay to scroll. Okay, I'll stop here. All right, yeah, that's very tense. So this is the last section. I hope you're reading. I'm reading too. I hope we're reading it together. Well, Yelp is a review platform, restaurant review. Well, if you're doing a case analysis, make sure you have a lot of highlighters or colored pencils. Oops, somebody from a Poco X4 device is host, will you please help me? Please tell Poco X4 device not to
Yes, sir, we are attending for that job.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for being so alert. Okay. All right, let me stop sharing. Look at how colorful it has become already, right? And this is just one page. I use a lot of case studies. So some of my students, when they show it, it looks, I almost ask them, is that a color printout? No, sir, it was an ordinary printout, but then we made it colorful. You read a case study 3-4 times, and at the end of the 4th iteration, you're marked using so many colors, and each color particularly signifies something. All right, now that's where we are. Now what we're going to do is we have read this case, The Loving Spoon. Isn't that the name of the restaurant? Okay. Father, mother, 3 daughters. The restaurant is actually doing well. They've been profitable last. And then competitors are coming in, and the competitors, well, they sell food and beverages. So there is some difference between these two. One seems to be, the margins are more in one. And then, of course, later on, I'll show you some tables of data related to this. Okay. All right. Now you have to keep your Slido alive. Okay. So as we analyze this case, maybe in the next 30 minutes, the last 15 minutes, I hope to keep it open for questions or any comments or observations. I'm sure some of you are veteran professors, and if you have some ideas, that'll be fantastic. I would also like to pick up something from you in this online FDP, right? So keep your Slido open. I'm going to share the slides again, and I'll present it through Slido so that every interaction can be on Slido there. Okay, yeah, I'm getting there in a while. Sorry, presenting with Slido comes from first slide onwards, but I'll quickly scroll and then, yeah, I'm taking you. We did all this, yeah, for just to give an illustration of what a case study can contain. I gave you these 4 examples. All right. Now, very quickly, Professor Nitin Noria was the dean of the Harvard Business School earlier. And one of his articles, which appeared on Harvard Business Review, I have given this as a handout. I'm sure Professor Srinivas shared it with you. And of course, you can access 3 HBR articles for free every month. So you will anyway get it for free on HBR website. Any guesses? How many case studies does a Harvard MBA student solve during 2 years? Would you like to unmute and let us know? But if it is very hard, you can let us know on the chat also. How many?
500. 500, sir.
500. Okay, Dhananjay probably had read the article.
100, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Aparna. Thank you for being so active and involved. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Himani says 2000. Oh, that's a lot, Dr. Himani. That's a very ambitious statement. Okay. Well,
500, sir.
500 as per this particular article. Oops, I need to share it through Slido. Just give me a moment so that I present it through Slido. That's the best way for interaction. All right, so that means it again goes to the first. Okay, just bear with me. Getting there. Okay. Harvard Business School MBAs, 500 case studies during 2 years. I don't know how many you do, my colleagues over here. And back, here in Pondicherry University, I'm in the Department of Management Studies. I promise 10% of that number, 50 case studies. I teach 2 core courses, and then I teach 3 electives, totally 5 courses. If a student takes my electives, and then he or she would probably do 5 courses with me during the entire duration of his or her MBA. And that's 50 case studies. That's my promise, 10% of what they do in Harvard Business School. Well, we do have our constraints, but no point in complaining about them. Instead, we can do what we can and then hope for the best. Now, some of the benefits of case study, I'm not going to elaborate much on that. One is exposure to real world business dilemmas. Imagine a student does 50 case studies. Okay, let's be very modest. 10 case studies in the first year of MBA, and each one of them is a 10, 15-page case study. Now they're familiar with those 20 businesses. It could be Barbie, it could be Indian Oil, it could be Tata Nano, it could be Flipkart. Now they know about it. One problem with MBAs is their level of awareness is poor. For the MBA program, we get students from different courses. We have students who have done MA, BA English, BA French. We had a dentist who came for his MBA with us. And of course, we get loads of engineers and people from humanities and social sciences. So many. So their level of awareness of the corporate world is very minimal. Case studies give them an exposure to the corporate world. Then when they run through a case study, they're able to quickly understand the business problems, the dilemmas, the challenges that organizations face. So that's again exposure at different levels within the organization, at the industry level, or from the business environment outside, extraneous to the organization. Then case studies help in better recall of concepts. I bet once you and I do that Indian oil case study on integrative growth, the student will never, ever forget what is forward integration, what is backward integrations, under what conditions forward integration is worth trying, and what are the risks associated with that. So it's a great way to help the learners, all of us, to recall the concept. Just as we remember words when we use them in a context, similarly, business concepts in the context of a case study, they register so well in the minds of the learners. Then, of course, application of theory to practice, wherein we try to bridge the gap between theory and practice. MBA is one field where we really don't want to see a big theory practice gap. If so, they just become irrelevant to the industry. So this helps to reduce the gap. Besides that, it builds capacity for critical analysis, for making judgments, and at the end of the day, for decisions, and also drawing up an action plan. So these are some great benefits of case study. In fact, Professor Nitin Noria talks about 7 incredible benefits that he, oops, okay, let me go to the previous slide. Which he mentions, I'm just pulling out some of them at random. One is the virtue of preparing for a case study. Look at the intensity with which you and I read through that one-page PDF. This is just a one-page case study, and it's no big deal. But then in terms of preparation, as we read, we capture what is important. Maybe we use a highlighter or pencil, colored pencil to just mark, or just in a PDF, you mark it. Preparation. Nobody can come for a case analysis without preparation. They can come to our lectures without preparation. Of course, some of them come for examination without preparation, but for a case analysis, no way. The virtue of preparation. And I think that's an important skill. That's an important attitude, to go prepared for a task. And then discernment. They slowly realize, hey, this is important, this is not so. Case study is full of information, and some of them are actually meant to distract. So we develop the sense of discernment and then focus on what is vital and leave out what is trivial. And then bias recognition. Me as a student of marketing, as a teacher of marketing, I look at a case study, I am biased towards marketing. But then in a case study, as we put ourselves in the shoes of different stakeholders, we cut down on that bias. We learn to look at a case study from different points of view. Otherwise, I'm afraid we are just going to read it through the glass of marketing and then think that's the only way to do it. So bias recognition and also cutting down on that. Then the sense of judgment, choose what is better. Evaluate competing options, which are presenting a great dilemma. Both of them look good, but now you got to apply your sense of judgment and then choose one. And then collaboration. Oh, especially case studies are a fantastic group task. I essentially use case studies as a group task, unless in the exam, then it becomes an individual. But then if students try to discuss in the exam hall, we don't call it a group task. It's still individual, isn't it? But then case analysis is fantastic for a team task. They learn to work with each other. They learn to accept others' speed, others' points of view. It's just great for group dynamics, for somebody to learn to work in a team. That's an indirect benefit that somebody can reap. And then curiosity. When you're reading a case study, you usually read it with an open mind because you don't know what is in, and then curiosity, somebody said, if you're not curious, please don't specialize in marketing. I'm sorry, I'm speaking like a marketing teacher. Every MBA must be curious about the world of business. What's happening? What's up? How this is going to help? How this is going to really hurt some businesses? And lastly, is the self-confidence that the learners develop after going through the rigor of case analysis. The confidence to face the professor plus a class of 60, 70, 80 students and present your view and then give a strong justification why you think this option is the best way forward. Wow, that takes a lot of confidence, and working on case studies give confidence. And preparation is an antecedent of confidence, isn't it? So it starts with preparation, sense of discernment, cutting down on our biases, applying very objective judgment, learning to work with others in this analysis, curiosity, and then self-confidence. So these are some great traits. Now, there are a few tools that we need to know. I'm sure this is familiar. If not, I will be sharing a handouts version of my slides with Professor Srinivasa Rao. If you're a student and in this session, these are 10 must-know tools for you in order to crack a case study. How to crack a case? Of course, we read, we apply our mind, but these are some very proven management tools and techniques which you can use to analyze. Let me move further. Let's go for a swim, meaning we are getting into the loving spoon case study, shall we? Here we go. Well, this is the family, mom, dad, 3 daughters. The 3 daughters are the next gen. So they think about this restaurant, this family business very differently, whereas mom and dad are thinking about it very differently. All right. Now, from now on, I'm running it more like a quiz. Okay. So every answer you give, it gives you a point. You not only have to be right, you also have to be quick in order to be on the leaderboard. Maybe after every 5 questions, we may see the leaderboard. Let's see how it goes. Be ready with your Slido. Here it comes. We are doing the case analysis, but in a very interactive manner using Slido. Let's go. Well, we have already got the story, so I'm not getting into that. There are 5 principles in a case study analysis. Case analysis, 5 principles. First, we understand the situation. When you read the case study, you do that. Then you pay a little close attention, you identify evidence. Then interpret the data that is given, the exhibits. It could be a chart, it could be a diagram, it could be a table of data. Interpret the exhibits, and then you apply the business concepts, which are maybe the teacher introduced a business concept, say integrative growth strategies, or Michael Porter's generic growth strategies. Oh, okay. So that's the topic under which the case study comes. So I need to know the topic, and then I need to know the concept and apply it in the case study. And lastly, reaching a conclusion. All right, here we go. Within understanding the situation, see the big picture, not the minute details, but the overall. Oh, it's about a family restaurant. Okay. Mom and dad ran it very successfully. Great. But then the daughters think this success cannot be sustained. Oh, okay. Keep asking why, and then weigh multiple options too. Let's get in. Let's dive. Ready for the quiz? You need to join now. Yeah. I'm just waiting for more people to join. Right now it says 0. Okay, thank you. Wow, fantastic. Your names are showing up because obviously your names are necessary to show on the leaderboard. Won't you be happy if you're going to be right on top in the leaderboard? 15 people. Wow, some professors. Thank you. You are game for it. I love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate your enthusiastic participation. 28. I thought we can have a little more. We are 183. We are close to double century. But on Slido, we have only 29. That doesn't speak very good of us, isn't it? Right now, I think we can improve. Let me hold on till 50, and then it's going to be fun. So it's not only the correct answer, your speed matters. Okay, so how quickly you're able to tick or select the right answer. So that's how it will be. Maybe Dr. Srinivas should start looking for a gift for you on Amazon. If he doesn't give, let me know. I'll send one from Pondicherry if you win this particular. Okay, we are doing a case analysis in a very interactive manner. Maybe it's new for you, but I'm sure we can do this and you will enjoy this process. Oh, we have only 41. Can we have at least 9 more? 43, 44. Wow, I'm so happy. I'm just looking at that number. Another 6 more. I'm going to be super happy. Now, those who have joined, just hold on, in a few seconds. Hey, Santosh, you are drawing lines on the screen. Please don't do it, Santosh. Thank you. 45 people. I hope it's not unfair to expect another 4 so that we touch 50. Gotta be quick. We have only 25 minutes. 47. Very good. 48. 2 more. We should celebrate. 49. Okay. Right. I think we should move. We are getting 50 anytime now, I suppose. There you go. Dr. Grace. Thank you, Dr. Grace. You made us very happy. All right. Let's go. Here comes the first question. Oops. Which of the following statement best describes the loving spoons situation? Did I click it before you all did? Okay. All right. Next time I'll be careful with my clicks. The loving spoons business model may need to change to keep up with the competitors. You think so? Let's find out what's the right answer. Yes, that is the right answer. The loving spoons business model, the way it makes money, the way it makes profits, probably it needs to change. Why? Because there are changes happening around, especially with the way competition is shaping up. Next question. Right now on the leaderboard, it's Padma and Sheikh Sadia Latif. Good. All right. But there is a long way to go. Another 18 more questions. Let's move. Now, people in perspectives. There are different people here, isn't it? The father, mother, and then the 3 daughters. They have very different perspectives. A case study gives us different perspectives, and we need to assess each one of them. Let me see whether you understood the perspective of the father, mother, and oops, somebody loves scratching on the screen here. Okay. All right, thank you. You removed it, but the yellow, the red lines are still there. Okay, get ready. It's coming. What is the main concern of Sarah, the restaurant founder, who's actually the mother? It's a family business. You have 45 seconds. You see the timer. What's the main concern of the mother? Managing 2 restaurant concepts at once? Our future market share will shrink if we don't upscale the menu. If we change our menu, no, we'll become less efficient. We will lose loyal customers to competitors. What is the main concern? I hope you are responding. The time is over. Let's see how you all have responded to this. Wow, the answers are scattered all over the place. Let's find out what is the correct answer. The mother, restaurant founder, her concern is, wow, majority of you got it right. That's fantastic. You've been reading the case very carefully and you've been following our discussion also. Managing 2 restaurant concepts, especially very different restaurant concepts at the same time. could be an operational disaster. Let's go to the next question. What is the main concern of the father, Jacob Franklin, restaurant founder, and the father? It's a family business. Less than 30 seconds to go. What is his main concern? Future market share will shrink if we don't upscale the menu. Is he worried about that? If we change our menu, we will be less efficient. Who knows? We may lose the cost advantage, or we will lose loyal customers to competitors. Let's see how you have answered these questions. Okay, again, the answers are scattered across. But what's the concern, the main concern of Jacob Franklin, the restaurant founder, and the father? Okay. Now he's the one who is saying, hey, we are a very efficient business. Our costs are at least 5% less than our direct competitors. I think 5 or 10% as per the case study. So he says, if you change anything in the menu, we might become less efficient. Next question. What are the main concerns of the daughter, Alexis? Alexis is the elder daughter. Then she has twin siblings, so 3 girls. What is the main concern of Alexis Franklin? What is she thinking? We will lose loyal customers to competitors, or future market share will shrink if we don't upscale the menu. Santosh, you're raising a hand, but you need to participate through Slido. Just scan the QR code, Santosh. You should be able to. But if it is regarding a doubt, would you just hold it? I will definitely have time for questions at the end. Thanks, Santosh. Yeah, thank you. You may now click on raise hand so that it goes off. Otherwise, it's on the screen. Thank you. Okay. Now, what's the main concern of the daughter, the eldest daughter? Future market share will shrink if we don't upscale the menu. So she really wants changes to happen. Okay. Majority of you, 3/4, got it right. That's fantastic. Great. Now let's move on. On the leaderboard, we have Admavati. Wow. And Sheikh is holding on to number 2 position. And I think Dr. Neetu is on number 3. Very good. We'll keep doing this once in a while. Now, if step 1 was about understanding the situation, step 2, we need to identify the evidence. This is where every key information, vital information, important data, that is what we got to look for as we go through this. And then also ask why this information is included in the case study. There is a line in that case study saying, well, for some time the sales had flattened, but then it picked up. Sales flattened for a while. Is that really helpful? Or is that only meant to distract you from looking at the important details in the case study? So ask why information is included in this case study. Towards the end of the case study, one competitor, new competitor, identical business model. And then Alexis, the daughter, actually saw the most loyal customers of Loving Spoon going there. Oops, is that an important piece of information? Maybe, I think so. Then tie it back to what we learned in the classroom. Maybe this case study could come right after Porter's generic strategies for businesses. Remember the 3 generic strategies: low cost leadership, differentiation as a strategy, or maybe a mix of both. Focus on a particular segment, and within that segment, you could either pursue low cost or differentiation strategy. So they heard it in the classroom. Now they will use it. Now we will use that concept in this case. And then attention to details. Here are a few more questions coming up. I hope you're ready. Okay, Let me ask you this, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces of information, 5 clues, which will, some of them will shape your analysis. Very vital information. But out of this 5, only 3 are vital. The other 2 are meant to distract your case analysis. This will help us to be discerning. Oh, this is an important piece of information. There are 5 pieces that I have marked and highlighted in blue. Which one? Which 3? Now think about which 3. In the next question, you will be answering which 3. I'm giving you time to look here because in the next question, in the next slide, I'm not having the text. So please look at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out of these 5, which 3 are very important pieces of information for your analysis? Just, you don't need to read the whole thing, just where I have put the numbers and what is highlighted in blue, that should be enough. All right, shall we go and check whether we have got it right? Here is the next question coming up. Which clues are most relevant to understand this case situation? There were 5. Do you think 1, 2, and 3, or 2, 3, and 4, and 3, 4, and 5? Which clues are most relevant to understanding the case situation? Well, just less than 5 seconds, and let's see how you have answered this particular question. And here it is. Yeah. 2, 3, and 4. Wow, brilliant. That is the right answer. I'm so happy we are so focused. Good, let's keep it going. Which among the following is a warning sign for the Loving Spoon restaurant? Which among the following is bad news, is a warning sign? Loving Spoon has loyal customers. Loving Spoon's food costs are 5% lower than the direct competitors. Loving Spoon's labor costs are at least 10% lower than the rivals. Loving Spoon is quiet at 9 p.m. every night. Which of these 4 statements are actually a warning sign for the Loving Spoon restaurant? Let's see what we have got here. I'm delighted. We have 64 people in Slido. I'm super happy. Thank you. Well, okay. Well, loyal customers is good news, isn't it? Low costs is actually good news. Your cost structure really favors you. Yes, the right answer. After 9 o'clock, no business. People are not coming after 9 o'clock. That's a warning sign. Okay, very quickly, next question. Which among the following is actually a strength? The previous question was about warning sign. This one is about which among the following is a strength for the Loving Spoon? Restaurants down the street will fill with rich customers purchasing expensive drinks and high margin food. A new rival received top ratings on a food rating app, restaurant rating app. Loving Spoon's revenue has grown at a steady pace for the last 6 years, which is a strength for the Loving Spoon. This should be easy. Okay. The strength is their sales has been steady, is growing steady for the last 6 years. So that's the strength. Very good. And so we are done with 2 stages. And now we are moving on to the third one. First is understand the situation, then look for vital information, and then interpret the exhibits. Every case study ideally will come up with exhibits, as I said, in the form of a data table. If it's a finance related case study, maybe a statement of account, maybe if it is an operations management case study, maybe a time flow diagram or process flow. So it will have exhibits. Now we need to make sense out of that. Now let me help you with this. We are digging into this further. Now please look at this data table. We have data from 2013 to 2019. So 7 years data. Revenue from food, revenue from beverages, drinks. So they have two, so to say, products, food, and then beverages, and then the total sale. Now look at this table. Can you make sense out of this table? Is the revenue growing? Of course it's growing. For both for food and for beverage, and even the total revenues. But now I'm going to give you maybe a statement and tell me, maybe a list of statements. Tell me which statement is most appropriate for this table of data, right? Food sales is growing, revenue from beverages is growing, total revenues are growing. And I hope you see a little bit of the growth. Okay, 620 became 650, 676, 714, like that. Let me make statements and you choose which statement accurately represents this table. Shall we? Here it comes. Oh, don't worry, I'm giving you 1 minute to crack this, 60 seconds. Which statement best describes what we can learn from that table of data? Food revenue, beverage revenue, total revenue. Food and beverage revenues are both rising each year. You don't have to worry. That's the first statement. Next one. Total revenue has risen by 31% over the past 6 years. There is no cause for concern. Don't worry, it looks great. Beverage sales are now a smaller portion of total revenue than in 2013, 7 years ago. This may be a cause for concern. Beverage revenues have declined. It shouldn't, because that's where your margins are high. That's a cause of concern. All right, let's find out which statement actually represents the learning from the table of data. Well, I'm glad majority of you got it right. Yes, true, food sales, beverage sales is growing. But you know what? If you carefully observe these numbers, beverage sales, in the total sale, the share of beverage sale is shrinking. And beverages have higher margins. So what accounts for your profitability, if that is shrinking, that's a bad news for the bottom line of the business, isn't it? Okay, one more data table. Now that you understand what we are trying to do, there's another data table. Column 2 gives you the revenues in that particular year, and then number of customer visits. Revenues and customer visits. Both of them are growing year after year. Based on the data you see, which statement about the performance of business is correct? So I'll give you another few seconds to look at the data table, and then we will get in there. I give you 4 statements. Tell me which statement is actually the correct inference from this table of data. Both are increasing, but there is something lying inside these figures, this data set. Here is the question. Ready? Here we go. Based on the Loving Spoon's revenue customer visits data, which statement about the performance of the restaurant is correct? Loving Spoon is a successful and growing business. Loving Spoon is experiencing poor performance. Loving Spoon currently has mixed results. If you think it's mixed result, then I hope you'll be able to see, okay, yeah, the data looks positive, but at the same time, there is a concern. That's what you mean by results. Okay, just about 15 seconds to go, and then let's find out what is the correct answer. Is everything good? Is everything bad? Or is it showing a very mixed result? Okay, let's see how all of you have answered. Wow, okay, 67% mixed result. You are right. What is mixed? Number of customer visits are increasing. Revenue is increasing, but if you work out a revenue per customer, that is declining over the years. Yes, we have people coming in, but they're not spending as much as they used to in the past. And I think that should set an alarm. Something is not right. We have customers, but the average spend is not good. This is declining. Now, moving further, I'm sorry, I'm going to confuse you with a lot of this. Now, this should be easy. Don't get scared, scared by looking at this. This is a simple graph. There was a new competitor, last paragraph in the case study, Sweet Abbey. Yeah, new competitor. Okay. Now, the picture on the left-hand side talks about the average age of Sweet Abbey, then Loving Spoon, and then there are two more restaurants, McKinsey's Backyard Table and Fried Green Soul. Okay, so you see the customer age, youngest for Fried Green Soul, oldest for Sweet Abbey, and Loving Spoon is not far from that. So they are in a cluster together. Now, the bar graph on the right-hand side talks about the capacity utilization by hour. Which time of the day, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. The Loving Spoon is very busy, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. After that, it slowly becomes empty, 9 o'clock, nobody. Whereas McKinsey's Backyard Table, wow, the traffic, the utilization increases 7 p.m. onwards. And when Loving Spoon declines, it actually holds good. Now, based on these two, what is the inference? And again, let me give you some statements and you choose which statement is the best inference from these two pictures. Here it comes. McKinsey has younger customers who tend to visit later at night, potentially increasing alcoholic beverage sales. Is that the statement you think? McKinsey is losing customers to the Loving Spoon in the early evening, perhaps because they do not have enough staff at those hours. Really? What do you think? Next statement. Older customers prefer all rivals to McKinsey's. So that's why old people don't go there, causing the restaurant to often operate at less than capacity. Is that true? McKinsey, is it operating at less than capacity? Let's see which statement you think best represents those two charts. We are trying to make sense of evidence, make sense of data as part of the case study. Wow, brilliant. Amazing. This is impressive. 95% got the right answer. They have younger customers who check in late, and maybe what sells is the beverages. And beverages have high profit margin as given in the case. Okay, now let's bring all the data together in this sentence. Now tell me whether this sentence is right or wrong, true or false, whether the sentence is True or false? Loving Spoon's revenue per customer and beverage sales will likely continue to decline because their customers are getting older and eating earlier. Is it true or is it false? Based on the information, based on the evidence, based on the data that we saw in the last 2-3 tables or charts. Let's see how you are going to answer. True or false? In less than 10 seconds, we will come to know whether it is true or false. All right, here is how we have responded to this. Well, the majority got it right. Yes, the revenue per customer is coming down. Beverage sales are declining. Reason? Older people eating earlier, whereas in McKinsey, younger people coming later and ordering more beverages, as inferred from the case study. Wow, Padma is back on the leaderboard. She's got 9 out of 11. That's impressive. And Shaikh Sadia Latif holds on to the second position. Brilliant. Let's move on very quickly. Step 4, totally 5 steps. We are in step 4. We should be able to finish quickly. Apply the business concept. Now, the whole case study is about what should be the strategy drawing from Michael Porter's 3 generic strategies. Should a business pursue low-cost leadership? Have a fantastic cost structure no competitor can match? Or differentiation as a strategy, have something unique which nobody else has, and that's a winning difference. It's not just a difference for the sake of a difference, but it's a winning difference. 2, very broad. Now let's apply those business concepts. Let me give you statements and then help you with that. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Which of the following business action is low-cost strategy? There are 3 statements, 3 actions by restaurants. Which of them is actually low-cost strategy? A restaurant invests in an efficient dishwasher and oven, maybe consumes less water, consumes less electricity. Next one, new menu items with interesting, hard to find ingredients. New menu with some very precious, rare ingredients. The last one, the business owner invests in a spin-off location for a new audience segment. So you're trying to reach out to a new segment, so you're opening something new for that. Which of these 3 is actually low-cost competitive strategy? Let's find out how you have answered. Well, invest in a spin-off location. That means new, it calls for investment, additional cost. New menu items, you're trying to change what is existing, so you're going to incur cost. But invest in an efficient back office, so to say, so that less water, less electricity, less water bill, less electric bill, that's a low cost. Now your cost of operation actually declines. So that's the right answer. Well, I hope you'll get the next one right. Which of the following is differentiation strategy? Three statements. Which of them is a differentiation strategy? A restaurant simplifies its menu to focus on what it does best. New menu items with interesting, hard to find ingredients are added. A restaurant decides to source locally to save on shipping and transportation. Which of the 3 is actually differentiation strategy? Let's find out. Here we go. In a few seconds, we will know how 70 people in Slido. Wow, that's the highest number I have ever had. I'm sorry, I will never forget this experience. Wow. Okay, I think we are a little missing the mark here. Let's find out. The right answer is, of course, majority got it right. New items with interesting ingredients no one else will have. You will have. That's differentiation. Simplify the menu to focus on what you do. That means you do the same thing again and again. You become super efficient with your costing. And then locally, again, cost cutting. So the second option is differentiation. Well, let me check how you are doing this. A fan is commenting on the social media handle of the restaurant. I absolutely love your peri-peri chicken sandwich. It's been my favorite for years. Which competitive strategy does this fan comment represent? Is it low cost? Is it differentiation? Or is it somewhere stuck in the middle, a hybrid? Clue. It's been my favorite for years. You're doing it over a long time. Let's find out how you have answered it. I think I tricked you to think of differentiation. The correct answer is low cost. Look at that. It's been my favorite for years. That means they have been consistent. And when you are doing the same thing again and again, you become very efficient. And efficiency means a better cost structure, low cost operation. The leaderboard, Padma, wow, Dr. Dhananjay breaks into top 3. Okay, we have just 5 more questions and then we are done. Professor Srinivas, I'm afraid I'm taking a few minutes extra. Is that okay?
Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm grateful for this permission. Well, let's move on. McKinsey's Backyard Table received a super review on a reservation app. It says, the atmosphere is so cool. You literally feel like you're eating in someone's backyard, very homely feeling. And they serve delicious hot dogs for $1, meaning, oh, it's so affordable. What strategy is McKinsey's Backyard? Well, a competing restaurant, McKinsey's Backyard Table. Low cost, differentiation, or stuck in the middle? Which one you think represents McKinsey's Backyard Table's strategy? Well, in less than 10 seconds, we will know how you have chosen. Here it is, coming. Okay. Yes, you got it. The majority got it right. No. I think it's stuck in the middle. I'll tell you why. Serving delicious hot dogs for $1 at very low price. At the same time, a very unique ambience, very different, very unique. So they're somewhere stuck in the middle. Somebody who wants a very homely, at the same time, very affordable food. So that's stuck in the middle. Now, the last step is, how do you reach a conclusion? How do you reach a conclusion? You must give support. You must give evidence. You must give arguments if you are taking a position. Otherwise, it's not acceptable in a case analysis. It's not just to say option 3 is good. You also got to say why you think option 3 is good. What are the pros and cons? And in terms of weighing the pros and cons, option 3 looks good. Just to give an example. Consider other viewpoints. You don't reach a conclusion without considering, say, 5 possible options before this manager. 5 possible options for this company. So that means you consider multiple viewpoints. And then somewhere you need to think like your instructor. If you're a student, why did the teacher give me this? What is the teacher asking me to learn from this? What kind of questions will come? Very often, the question from the teacher in a case analysis is, okay, but tell me why. That means supporting arguments, supporting evidences for that. Now, very quickly, when we are giving a conclusion, it is possible that every strategy will have a risk component. Now, just to give you, now let me annotate here. Okay, I'm using the spotlight. Okay, now look at this one. This strategy transformed the restaurant into an upscale destination. Okay, sounds good, but what is the risk there? Yes, young customers may come, but not in sufficient numbers to offset the loss of existing older customers who are disappointed by high prices. It may work, but it may not be sustainable. Now look at the second strategy. Yeah, we are looking at this one. Don't worry, nobody else is scratching. I'm doing the annotation here. Focus on increasing efficiency, meaning cut costs, be a lean, mean service operations business, a restaurant is. Now, the problem there is, now as we look here, profit margin will improve. Why? Because your costs are kept minimal, but rivals may continue to steal customers. Lowering your cost will not bring new customers in the long run. So that's the risk involved. And then look at the third strategic option, which is build a bigger, nicer restaurant next door. And in the old one, have one business model, the classic menu. In the new one, a very different business model, even focusing on expensive beverages. Now, what's the problem with that? Costs may spiral out of control and customers will be confused because one restaurant is trying to do two different things. So that could be a brand confusion as well. So just to let us know that, strategies, along with them come risks. Okay, let's do this. You want to pursue differentiation. Which of the following actions would you take? You want to pursue a strong differentiation, pursue winning differences, uniqueness. Which of the following would you take? Buy ingredients in bulk, keep a consistent menu, stays the same, modernize the bar and the interior so that your restaurant ambience is more Instagram worthy. Nobody starts eating without taking a picture, right? And then use similar ingredients across dishes. This should be easy to crack. In a few seconds, we will know how we have answered. Here we are. And that's right. The majority got it right. Modernize the bar and the interiors. That is going to give a differentiation. Next question. Maybe, is it the last question? I don't know. Let's see. You want to pursue low-cost strategy. Which of the following action would you take? You really want to cut down your costs. Add innovative appetizers to the menu. Redesign the logo. Refresh the menu every month. Negotiate beverage costs with the supplier. Maybe committing for a long-term purchase, and you have a bargaining power with the beverage supplier. Which one will be good for low-cost strategy? Okay, 64%. Well, if you add innovative new things, it's actually adding to the cost. Whereas negotiate beverage costs, yeah, that's a low-cost strategy. Okay. All right, I think we are done. Dr. Gangineni Dhananjay, congratulations. You won the quiz. I think you pipped into the #1 position at the end. Wow, that's fantastic. Padma, you are consistent. Congratulations. And Shaikh, thank you for being so active, a participant. Yeah. Well, I think we are almost done. Finally, the 5 principles that you can practice. In a case analysis, this is the process. 1 page, 10 pages, 20 pages, the process remains the same. And we teachers, when we set up case studies in the exam question paper, let us make sure that there is scope for all these 5. A situation, must for a case study. I'm sure the other resource persons will be talking about how do you write a case study, and I'm sure you'll be revisiting. It must have a situation. It must give pointers, evidences, data. And all that calls for interpretation of tables of data, of charts and figures, and apply the business concept. We need to go back to what we have learned in the classroom. We need to make the students refer to what we have taught them in the previous classes. And finally, reaching a conclusion. Yep. So, well, I do have a 1-page PDF, which is my original golden rules for a case study. I will share it in the chat. It's no big deal, self-explanatory. Those are 10 things to keep in mind while doing a case analysis. Well, on that note, I have come to the end of the session. I finished about, I think, 10 minutes late. My apologies, but I'm really grateful that you were active throughout the session. I'm active on Twitter and LinkedIn. Don't look for me in Instagram and Facebook. And you have my email ID as well. So with that, I stop here. And if you have any comments, if you have any questions, if you want to add something which will enrich us, you're most welcome to do that.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I really enjoyed. I really am Dr. Dhananjay from Narayana Group.
Wow.
Really,
we are hearing from the winner. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I struggled because of initial loss of points, but your session is great. In enthusiasm, student engagement, or participant engagement, and also I think that the Vignan's Srinivas Rao sir has put a combined strategy of low cost and differentiation. The low cost for his workshop and differentiating with a lot of great resource persons. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words. I'm sure Professor Srinivas is happy and smiling. Yes,
Good
Dr.
evening, sir.
Padmavati.
Good
Yes,
evening,
please
sir.
go ahead,
Good evening,
ma'am.
sir. This is Dr. Padmavati. Sir, I have a doubt. First, I'm very thankful to you for such a wonderful session. And the second is, the doubt is, see, many times we have to teach the concept and then we do case study, which takes a lot of time, and we are not able to do more case studies in classes, sir. Can you guide us on how to bring in the concept into case and then teach case? In the meantime, concept is also clear to the students.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Padma, for asking. Well, I have tried both, and I continue to use both the approaches, especially if it is a very crisp concept. Then I first do the case study with them. And then, all right, what did we learn today? What are the ways diversification can happen? What are the differences among these diversifications? Which one worked for them? Actually, the topic was diversification as a strategy. So through a case study, we could bring forth. But then for a crisp concept, some concepts are large. Then when you do through a case study, one case study may not be able to address all the aspects of that particular large concept. So in that case, teach the concept, say, growth strategies, integrative growth, or penetrative growth, and then diversification. Do all this and then get them in through 3 small case studies. By the way, today, I hope you and I learned to appreciate the significance of small case studies. We did just 1 page, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Just 1 page, but look at how much that we can actually dig in and generate out of that. Yeah, so that's how I would answer, Dr. Padma. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you, sir. So one more question.
Yes.
How can we find out such small caselets, sir? For example, we could trace out Harvard case studies. If we pay also, we can download, or sometimes we are able to download few Harvard case studies. But most of the cases are 30 pages, 33 pages. How can we get the small caselets, sir?
Okay. Here is a secret.
Okay.
I'm sure all of you are listening. Well, of course, Harvard cases are expensive, and you could try, applying for a faculty access. But then my tool for mini case studies is every Harvard Business Review issue will have one mini case study.
Okay.
And solution given by two people. So for teachers, that makes life easy. Well, if there are students, you didn't hear anything, okay? Last 10 seconds, right? But then the point is, those mini case studies are still about 3 pages. And what I do is I take the effort of shrinking them into 1 page. Many times it is possible, otherwise into 2 pages. And trust me, that's a gold mine when I take it to the class and give it to the students.
So this is available in the HBSP site. If you are an educator, you'll be able to access it.
Yes, apply for faculty access. Sometimes they do, sometimes they do not. Otherwise, HBR, as I said in the beginning, 3 HBR articles every month you can get for free. Okay. After that, it says you have to subscribe. The paywall comes into play. But 3 HBR, and for me, those 3 are 3 mini case studies.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Savitri from Hyderabad. Can we rely upon Google case studies?
I'm sorry, ma'am. What case study?
Google, sir, when we search for the case studies in the Google, some case studies will appear based on our topics and all. Can we rely upon the case studies?
Well, ma'am, at the end of the day, case study is a story. As long as the story is spicy enough for us to teach and for the students to learn something good, it is fine. But again, when you search on Google, again, it will take you to a case repository. Maybe if Harvard cases are difficult to access for you, if the institution will not, subscribe, maybe try in casecenter.org. That also is a good resource, casecenter.org. Apart from that, I think few years ago, Times 100, I don't know the exact URL. I don't recall the exact URL, but Times 100 case studies were also very crisp and small. So there are a lot of sources wherein we can. But over the years, what I have learned is, for instance, say a very recent story is online grocery delivery, a company called Zepto, which is incidentally the first unicorn among Indian startups for this year. When all other quick commerce companies are failing like Dunzo or Blinkit, Zepto is doing well. Now, what do? I teach internet marketing this semester. So I take 3-4 news articles about Zepto, which is an online grocery retailer, delivery, right? Online grocery delivery, not retailer, grocery delivery. And then using those 4, maybe one of them appeared in Economic Times, the other one appeared in the Fortune magazine, the Indian edition, the other one appeared in Business Line. Put 4 of them and then write your own case. And I'm glad the topics are chosen well and Professor Srinivas has identified the right people. I hope you will consistently participate in the next days also, by which, okay, the source is, I have 3-4 news articles about Zepto doing well while the competitors are actually slowing down. But then how to convert it into a, say, 2-page case study? Hold on. it's coming soon. I'm sure Professor Srinivas is bringing the right people to teach that.
Sir, excuse me.
Yep.
Sir, you told me that I have to forward one case analysis sheet. May I forward it now?
Yes, please. You know, the 5 steps that I gave you, it's like a nice template. Professor Srinivas will forward it.
Forward it, sir.
Oh, great, great. And in the meantime, let me also share, do I have it here? These 10 golden
PPTs.
Yeah, I'll share it with you a little later,
Sure.
just a light version so that you will be able to use it. Yeah. Is there any other question or a comment, or you wanted to add something? Please feel free.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Janakiram.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Your session is very nice. I enjoyed, and I have a doubt, sir. There is a concept called design thinking. Hello.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
There is a concept called design thinking, and many organizations, they are using it for marketing and product design and new product design. How far design thinking helps for marketing to grow fast?
Okay. Dr. Janakiraman, are you a faculty member or a student?
Yes, sir, faculty.
Okay, well, I just feel like saying out of syllabus. I'm sorry, today's topic is not that. Later on, if we can connect over email, I'll be able to respond to that.
So can I get your mail ID, sir?
Well, I showed it. I'll also put it in the chat. Maybe it's easy to take from there. Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, I can take questions from others. Yeah. I'm sharing those 10 golden rules, which is my own compilation. I hope that will be important. That PDF is shared now. And then,
Sir,
yes, please.
Again, I have a question. Like today you engaged us extremely well using technology, but if some of us who are not able to use technology in the classroom, is there any other way that we can engage students in the case method of teaching?
Ma'am, this Slido I will use in my in-person physical classrooms also. The only constraint is internet. Thank God, Pondicherry University provides good Wi-Fi in our 750-acre.
Our college doesn't provide good Wi-Fi.
Oh, Dr. Madhavi, right. True, we have constraints, but then the beauty with teachers is we find a way to perform even amidst all these challenges. And if you are in any decision-making capacity in your institution, please put it forward strongly that this is a great investment. Internet is not a cost, is a great investment for an institution. And trust me, when I tell the students, everybody, please pull out your phones and scan this QR code, because in the next 30 minutes, we are going to be using this to learn. Initially, they are shocked because they are used to hearing the teacher saying, keep your phone away. Now we are speaking their language, and trust me, the student engagement is incredible. I loved it. And that's why I thought today is probably my long Slido engagement, but I didn't feel that many of you got tired and stopped participating. Even at the end, we had about 70 participants. So I believe this approach will work. Only thing is our connectivity.
So one more question, sir. Sir, when we are discussing the case study, is it right to give the questions well in advance along with the case? Or we have to ask the questions only after they read the case and come to the classroom, which would be the appropriate method, sir?
Well, what you said second, madam, of course, in the exam, we give the questions, but for a classroom discussion, maybe tell them this is the topic, this is the case study, read and come. We'll discuss the story for a few minutes. And after that, we will try answering a few questions. I think that would be a good approach, in my opinion.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
I think Professor Srinivas would charge you extra because you asked the maximum number of questions.
You are welcome, sir.
So definitely ready to give the amount for the knowledge that we are getting today, sir.
Well, we can smile at the end of a long day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Any more doubts? Any more doubts from participants?
Yes,
If not,
sir. Good evening, sir.
Please.
Sir, this is Rekha. I'm a research scholar.
Yes, Rekha.
So the session was actually very involving and encouraging. So thank you so much for it. And sir, is this the approach for like if we have to go about to do a case paper, sir, a paper presentation, or we want to do a case paper? What kind of approach is suitable, sir?
Okay, Rekha, would you reserve your question? Maybe in a day or 2 or max 3, you will have the answer.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay.
Thanks.
So being the first day resource person, I can escape saying out of scope or out of syllabus. Yeah, because you have resource persons who will be speaking precisely on this.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thanks for your understanding. Well, if there are no further questions, Professor Srinivas, thanks for the opportunity, and I like your enthusiasm, and thanks for doing this. And I'm so glad I was part of this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to give a small thanks to you, respected sir. I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for your invaluable contribution as a resource person during the session on student engagement and impactful learning through case studies. Your expertise and insights were truly enlightening and made a significant impact on all of us who had the privilege of attending. Your ability to engage the audience and convey complex concepts with clarity and enthusiasm was commendable. Your dedication to the field of education and your extensive experience in academia were evident throughout the session. It was a privilege to learn from you with such a wealth of knowledge and a passion for empowering educators and students alike. Once again, thank you for your time, expertise, and inspiration you provided. Your presence added immense value to the event, and we look forward to the opportunity of learning from you again in the future. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, thank you very much, sir. A small announcement for participants. I request everyone to participate tomorrow through the same link and kindly provide feedback. The feedback is already available in WhatsApp group. In addition to that, the next session, that is tomorrow session's resource person will be Dr. Srinivas Gunta, IIM. He will enlighten us and try to provide solutions to the challenges in case teaching. Please be with us, stay with us up to completion of the 8 days. Try to get more valuable things from us. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for providing a lot of information from her, and eminent person are there. He give a lot of information regarding case writing, case level. Thank you, sir. Thank you for arranging such type of session.
Sir, we are also providing free handouts of most of the resource persons and worksheets. Please go through and attend the sessions. Then we can get more insights from our resource person. Please do the needful.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Definitely, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. With this, may I close the session, sir, with your permission?
Yes, please, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.